Hey, welcome to the Rediscover Geek Podcast, episode 23. Yes, that's right.
You have to think about it?
I did.
Is that why you extended that three?
Yeah, because welcome to episode 23 of the Rediscover Geek Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Jansen. I'm joined here, as usual, by my lovely co-hosts, Anthony and Caesar. Yay.
We are
How's everybody
lovely.
doing? How was everybody's week last week?
Last week?
How my week was.
Last week?
How was your guys' week last week?
Well, I mean, after the show last week, the rest of the week was pretty stressful and annoying, and just like it felt like it was never ending. But then, obviously, woke up Saturday morning. Woke up pretty good Saturday morning. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Anthony, you?
Yeah, doing good.
I mean, I would love to see the productivity of workplaces around the country last week. Because, I'm hoping no one watching from my work, but I imagine, I know everybody else I work with. It was so stressful from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then come Saturday morning, there's celebration in the streets. So, everything just got lifted, and now I'm mostly better. So, yeah, it was a good week.
Yeah.
It ended well. See, as long as it ends well, then it makes up for what happened in the middle.
Yeah, absolutely. And for anyone that's watching, we are referring to the fact that this week we're getting 2 new consoles. That's what we're talking about, right, Jansen?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Yeah. I did on a sad note though. This past weekend, Alex Trebek passed away. And I think everybody has touched on Jeopardy a little bit in their lives. But he hosted Jeopardy for 37 years. When I was researching that, I didn't realize how long he hosted it for, and it was 37 years, over 8,200 episodes. I remember watching it as a kid. I remember watching it through my high school time, not religiously, but it was a TV legend. So it's a bummer. It's sad that he passed.
Yeah, I mean, we all saw it coming. We knew it was going to happen sooner than later because we got the news. Man, I feel like we got the news not too long ago either. But yeah, it sucks. It still came as a shock. But yeah, Alex Trebek, very well known. Even if you didn't watch Jeopardy, you know Jeopardy, you know Alex Trebek. That's how big he was. That's how big the show was. But yeah, that's definitely one of those shows where I wasn't one that religiously watched. I don't even know what time it aired, but it was definitely a show where during those days when we used to channel surf, remember those days? We don't do that anymore, but during the channel surfing days, I would run into that show and I'd stop and watch it. It was still a fun show to watch. And it recently released on Netflix at the beginning of the year, I believe. And me and my girlfriend actually binge watched the shit out of it. And if you have an Alexa Echo or any of those Alexa hardware, you can actually
do the Jeopardy game.
Yeah, we play the Jeopardy game on a weekly basis. We can't do the daily stuff, but we definitely play it on a weekly basis because we'll have dinner, we'll sit at the dinner table, and we'll just play Jeopardy. But yeah, dude, major bummer, man. Alex Trebek, big, huge name, icon. Definitely will be missed, and I'm pretty sure the show will not be the same without him.
Yeah, that's some big shoes. Whoever takes on that role has to fill in. Yeah, huge shoes.
Yeah, but I know Anthony had so much to say about Alex Trebek, so definitely saving him for last on that one.
No, I didn't realize you guys watched Jeopardy that much. That's cool.
All right.
I just didn't watch it a lot. Obviously, yes, he's an icon.
No, but see that's a perfect example. Is Anthony didn't watch, but he knew who Alex Trebek was. That's just how big.
I mean, you knew him from SNL sketches.
Yeah.
He was bigger than just a game show. Anyhow, so we start off with the sad news as usual. Moving on to more stuff. As we know, this week is a big week. What are you shaking?
What is going on? We're falling apart already.
We just never can handle those type of segments. Well,
We don't transition out of those very well. No, we don't.
No, we
don't
do a
know.
horrible
It's
job.
it's not easy to do. It's really not easy
I
to
feel
do.
like we do a bad job getting into it, and then also too getting out of it.
are you saying that I do a bad job?
No, I'm just
Oh no,
saying
into the
we
yeah.
because
That's how
you said sad.
Jensen.
Let's get into sad news, and then I was like smiling because of the last thing we were talking about, and then I'm like, oh, I need to watch what I'm.
Don't smirk.
Don't smirk. Don't be happy.
Very, very
Anyways,
sad. Very, very
so
So
sad.
yeah, by the way, yeah. So that's
Yeah. Well, it's a bad whatever. We already messed the transition up, so it doesn't matter.
Clearly, we do not
big week.
rehearse before this.
No. Big week this week. So to kick off the news, we're gonna start with the video game. A giant video game dump of news. Xbox released today. Did you guys go out and get one?
yeah.
Did you? No. If it would have shocked me if you would have said yes.
You know what?
But
I'm
yeah,
not
the
gonna
Xbox
lie.
released today, which is exciting. Like it's the first. I mean, it's the beginning of the consoles. Like it's the beginning of the next generation.
I'm getting that feeling. I'm getting that exciting feeling. You know, of oh my god, a new console. But for the first time in a very long time, I didn't early adopt the Xbox, so it's kind of weird knowing that it's out and I don't have it here. And then obviously I've been doing a lot of research because influencers all around the world have been receiving their consoles, especially their Xboxes, and they've been reviewing it. So I've been checking out those videos. Not gonna lie, man. After seeing the reviews, not much to really go off of, but just to see the hardware, to see it working, and just to hear these people talking about it gets me excited. And I may not be a fan of the Xbox. I may not even like it. I don't know. All I know is the current, or fuck, that's not even current generation anymore. The previous generation, the Xbox One. I know that I bought it. I was very excited day one, and it just let me down. This may be the same situation, but I'm kind of feeling that I wish I had it. Not gonna lie, it feels weird.
I just like FOMO. Like
Yes.
I think it's just seeing other people play something that I don't have. Anthony is not that guy whatsoever.
Yeah, he's not. He looks fine to me.
No, I'm genuinely like watching people. I know right now there's really nothing to play on it, like that you can't play elsewhere. But yeah, just the idea of the new consoles coming out this week is super exciting. Anthony, what do you got to say about Xbox? Been a man of many words.
It's been interesting seeing the reviews because it seems like it's that kind of combination of it's new, but also very familiar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the feedback, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just, I think we're almost in that, I don't want to say diminishing returns, but the leaps, I think they're like the difference. I don't know. I think with the Xbox, it's really different in the sense that you're not seeing the gigantic leap from going from like an older, if like you were going to like 16-bit to 32-bit, because how much better can the graphics and the gameplay be? But with PlayStation, I think what's being overlooked is those two key features that I think we might be not realizing how great they could be adding to the gameplay experience is the haptic feedback and then the 3D audio. I think that's what's going to really drive that next leap, generational leap, for games being a lot more immersive. And I think with Xbox, it's just, okay, some prettier graphics.
Huh. Okay.
I mean, it's hard to argue with him on that, honestly. That was the one thing that I saw.
I mean,
from the
I feel like the
reviews.
same thing's gonna be said about like PS3, like PS5 when it comes out. Like I don't see like a crazy. Well, I don't know. I think load times, like when you look at the load times and stuff like that, like the time, like that stuff's pretty impressive when you're not waiting to get into game and you're not waiting for any of that stuff.
I know, but
that
irony
always improves,
is,
though. That always improves with every generation console. always improves. So,
but the irony of that is we already had that in the 8-bit and the 16-bit eras. So it's almost like we're going back to doing the same thing that we did what, 30, 40 years ago now? So it's like, yeah, that's a key feature, but it's like...
That's a difference between that feature back then and that feature now.
Not really, because it's the same principle. You're just loading in. You're not sitting around waiting in a loading screen.
Yeah, but... never mind.
What? No, like what?
Because you're talking about like 16, you're talking about games that were like maybe 10 megabytes compared to games that are like 100 gigabytes, and now you're having no load time. I get what you're trying to say, that it's going back. Like it's not really jump forward, because if you played video games back when Nintendo, like the cartridge days, like there was no load time. I understand that, but I think it is different though, because back then you're looking at like pixel little dudes running around. Now you're looking at immersive worlds that you're just entering immediately. So I think it's different that way.
Well, I guess my
you're wrong. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
you're completely wrong.
Man, I wish we had our versus screen right now.
Well, no, my real point is like the fact that it's that thing with the difference between VHS and DVD. You saw a dramatic difference. And now when we're starting to get to 4K to 8K and then HDR, 120 frames per second, like, can you really see the difference? I think that's what's getting really crazy. Is like, yeah, the gap is getting smaller and smaller. And it's almost like, okay, what really is going to be the next generational leap? And I think that's the component of the other two features with the loading times, yeah. But I think it's going to be more with the audio and then the feedback. That I don't know.
See, one thing that I can touch on is seeing the reviews, and Jansen's not happy with it, so I'm glad I cut him off, because he was totally going to attack you on that one.
I'm not going to attack him. Fine.
I think one of the big things for me when it comes to a new console, it's not just, the experience of opening a new box, touching the new hardware, plugging it all in. It's also the user interface. You get to learn something new. Unfortunately for the Xbox, they literally just took what the Xbox One had and they put it into the Xbox Series X. It's the same interface. So when you got through the unboxing and you got through all the connecting, the moment you turn it on, you're basically back to the Xbox One, because it's the same interface, which kind of sucks. So that alone, you're going to look on your TV and it might look cleaner, it might look, sharper, but in the end, you currently don't have anything new for the Xbox. You got to really kind of go back to Xbox One games or Xbox 360 games, where the PlayStation, from what I've seen, different user interface. There's a lot of new shortcuts that they have, and I actually like that. And just the intro alone, I saw like maybe a good six videos where they talk about it.
It's like issues you guys have.
That's all we have right now. Man. That's all we have.
That's my point.
And that's
my point.
That's exactly what I wanted to chime in, because it's hard to argue Anthony's point, because that's what we have to talk about right now. That's all it is.
I mean, we spent like months hyping up these systems, PS5, and now you're like, there's no generational leap. The user face, it's a newer user interface.
Is that what we sound like? Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we sound like.
You notice when I do like impressions of you guys, I have the same monotone voice.
Yeah, you sound like yourself.
It doesn't change. But man, you guys are like.
But you're not even basing it off of the content of the system. You're basing it on the fact that you just don't have it. Like, your excitement is coming to the fact of just having it. Like, no matter what it's on it.
I admit it. But I know, like, when you look at the PS5, like I was reading today that it's going to take 3 to 4 years before it's fully transitioned from PS4 to PS5. So you're not even, like, even the Xbox, you're not even going to get, like, it's like all systems, like the PS4, like the best games came out towards the end of its life. So we're so far away from seeing what the final form is for games and stuff like that. But I'm still excited, and it's still going to be cool. And
No, don't get me wrong. I'm
You guys are
excited
Doogie
too.
Housers. And you're like your user face like I'm so sick of people like the user like who the hell cares?
I care.
It's literally just
I care.
And it's such a stupid thing to care about.
Well, no, not for people that actually play games for a long time.
No, I play games.
Hold on. Let me correct. Yeah, exactly.
15 minutes.
Yes, exactly.
Of course, the user interface
what
doesn't
is
matter.
your user interface experience different? How is that different than my interface experience? Because I only play for games for like 15 minutes. What's the big difference? You still turn it on. You still see what box you're going to play. You either hit left or right, decide what you're going to go to, or you hit up if you want to communicate with like chat. Like it's all the same. It's just directional. It makes no sense to me, like why people complain about the user interface.
How many parties do you join in on a regular basis?
None. So there you
okay.
go.
Well, there's one thing that you don't use already on the user interface.
How many videos do you share?
What, you go to the little icon box with the little guys that are like, hey, join a group?
No,
like
man, it's not just that
thing?
Simple, dude. It's not that simple. You actually got to go looking for it and set up those parties, send out those invites. The easier it is, the better
I mean,
the
I've
functionality.
seen where you go to set up parties or you go to your friends and you invite. I've seen that on both the PS5 and the Xbox.
Have you tried it on the Xbox?
The same. No, I don't have any friends.
So you don't use the user interface.
So that's the big thing. Oh, it's hard to invite people.
It's part of the experience, man.
It's part of it if you're doing it. If you're doing certain things constantly over and over again, yes, that becomes an issue if there's something that is not as streamlined as it should be, or it should be as clean as it should be.
Okay.
Do you own it? Do you own an Apple phone?
I do own an Apple phone.
Yeah. There's your interface.
Perfect example. Yeah, perfect example right there. When you get your new Apple phone, you're so excited to try it out, and then you start to learn about these new little shortcuts they have. You know, it's really cool to learn all that stuff.
I really don't care that much.
Exactly.
Wow, then that's the problem, that you don't care, and I do.
Well, who's that the problem with? You or me? Like, I feel like that's more of a you issue.
Exactly. You're not taking advantage of the full functionality of the phone. You're buying a new phone.
You don't know
and
that.
You're literally. You just said it right now.
No, but I'm saying I don't care. Like, it's not that I don't use the functionality. I just don't care. Like, I switched over to a Samsung phone, and hey, guess what? I just preferred Apple because I'm just an Apple person. But I use that one just fine. Like, there was.
What makes you an Apple person?
I don't know. It just looks cooler.
Oh, wait, what?
Wait,
isn't that what we were arguing?
Isn't that design?
Isn't that what we're just arguing?
No. I'm talking about it looks cool. Like the phone itself, the actual physical phone itself looks cooler.
Oh, god damn it, dude.
Oh man, it's brilliant.
Oh yeah.
Brilliant.
Anyways, Xbox launched today, guys. It's exciting news.
Xbox launches.
Well, for the people that could get in, apparently Xbox Live went down.
I did do a search to see if you could buy it, and obviously you can't buy it anywhere. But I did do a search.
I just don't understand. Like, still all these teams, all this money, and you can't get your shit to work.
I was reading that Amazon was it could take till end of December to ship out people's Xboxes. Like, that's crazy. Can you imagine thinking you bought it for day one and you're gonna have to wait like a month and a half?
So far, everyone that I know, they received it either today or yesterday.
Oh, that's cool. That's good.
So, I know.
Did they, out of curiosity, anybody buy it from Target? I read this whole thing that Target sent this warning label that it could your system will be shipping soon. I think it's for PS5. Please note that it might come in the normal box. So it was this warning that it might just be in the normal PS5 box instead of a box inside of a box.
Oh, great.
Oh, as an exposed?
Yeah, exposed. And so they sent that warning out, but now Target came out and said that that's not the case. But I think it's because of the blow up, because I've ordered many things from Target and they literally show up at the door in the box that it comes in. Anything that's bigger than a normal thing.
Just in its package.
Just as a package, yeah. I've done
that is. I mean, already, people are already looking for similar size packages, knowing that
I'm
it's
like
containing
terrified.
a console.
That's why you're gonna pick it up for me, and I'll just mute you so you get jumped.
Fuck that.
The system that he doesn't care about user design on.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing to do. No, don't get me started. I'm not gonna get back into this. Anyways, PS5 comes out in 2 days.
Yes. I'm kind of bummed that it wasn't the other way around, so that we can actually be showing off our PS5 and talk about it. But it is what it is. We'll talk about it next Tuesday.
Cool. What are you guys gonna? Are you guys getting? What game are you guys getting? Are you guys getting any games?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
I'm considering Demon Souls because it looks fucking beautiful and it is a complete remake of the game. So I'm considering that, but I don't know if I want to start yanking my hair out again. So we'll see.
Anthony, you getting anything?
Those are the two that are on top of the list. But I have a buttload of PlayStation 4 games on the backlog to try to get through. So
how sad is that? And
no,
not for Anthony, not for Anthony, not for you. I mean, how sad is it that that's what I've been hearing? People are playing their Xbox One games on the Xbox Series X, and we're probably looking to play more PS4 games on our PlayStation 5.
Because there's nothing else. That's
I know there isn't.
I don't understand how you can launch and really only have like one or two launch titles that are like main launch titles. I don't understand, like, when you're planning these launches for years and years, and you Spider-Man. That's it. You can get Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but you can get that on PS4. Like, it's just not not specific, like PS5 or Xbox. Like, I just don't get why they don't have better launch title games. Not to say that Miles Morales isn't a bad game, but I just don't understand that.
No, I get you. I completely agree. And, I actually want to put this out there. You guys want to put any bets down on whether Cyberpunk is going to get delayed again? I'm willing to.
I heard there's a rumor that it was to 2021, right?
I'm willing to take that bet. I am willing to take that bet.
They came out and they said, I think they came out and issued a statement, but they didn't necessarily refute it. They just said we're still on track or something like that.
Yep.
So yeah, that's totally not coming out until 2021.
Fucking hot.
They say they're still on track, but if you remember on Twitter, that one guy that reached out to them and said, "Hey, I'm looking to take the day off tomorrow. Is this still confirmed?" Confirmed. And then the next day they said, "Oh, by the way." So yeah, they're full of it. They're full of it.
Yeah, so it's just gonna be a long time before we see any good games.
I gotta say, one of the features in the Xbox that I don't think is getting enough attention is that automatic HDR on older titles. So the developers, because with a lot of games, they have to kind of patch, like to give like an upgrade or allow the features of the new system to enhance the game. But with this HDR on Xbox, it's automatic. Developer doesn't even touch the game.
That's crazy.
The system will already enable it for HDR, and people are shocked at games that they're playing that were older, and they're just like, "This looks amazing." So I think that's a really cool feature.
That's kind of like when you get like those up converters on like DVD where they like up it to as close to Blu-ray quality essentially.
Yeah.
Like those, that's really, really cool that they can do that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool tech.
In other gaming news, one thing that I was pretty excited about is Mass Effect. They announced a remake of Mass Effect.
Yeah, you seem really excited about it.
Yeah, remake.
That's just my voice. This is just my face. I sound like I'm. I never look happy, and I sound monotone all the time. That's why I couldn't be an actor, Anthony. Why my monologues just were never good enough.
So tell us, Jensen, how excited are you?
Oh, I'm really excited, guys. I'm so excited.
Even with all the blowback out of that series, out of the controversy out of that series.
People just, whatever.
What doesn't what doesn't have controversy nowadays?
Yeah,
Seriously,
like it's just like no one's gonna be happy because everybody has their idea on how they want a game to end. And at the end of the day, you have to understand that it's not your vision, it's not your game, it's not your story, it's not your movie. You're not telling it. You can complain all you want, but at the end of the day,
well, I mean, I
it's
see
not
it from
yours.
both ends. Don't get me wrong. I see it from both ends because it may not be their story, it may not be their game or movie or TV show, whatever. But we all invest a lot of time into this, and for something to end so shitty, you feel like all that time was wasted. So I get that. Don't get me wrong, but
But
there's
shitty for you, but not everybody.
well, not everyone can go and rent out an island and hide away from all the fans, man. Okay,
Did that happen? What?
no, Game of Thrones, remember? Didn't like the whole entire staff go to a fucking island and just go seclude themselves to make sure that they don't get any backlash, or if they did get backlash, they'd be on safer grounds.
That really? I didn't know that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. No, but anyways, I'm excited. I know it's not going to come out for like 3 years or something like that, but I'm excited that it's gonna happen. But they also announced a new game, Mass Effect game too. So
That's what I'm excited, most excited for. It's
yeah,
cool that they're rebooting this. Oh, reboot or remake, just whatever.
taking some.
They're cleaning it up. They're re-releasing it. So I'll probably play it again. I don't know if I want to put in the time to play everything again, but it was a fun game. But it's probably one of those where I'll probably pick up, I'll play for a few hours, and then I'll just forget about it. But I am happy
Yeah.
that they're doing it.
Is anybody else I noticed on Twitch? Is anybody else taking hits on Twitch, or is it just mine?
Hits?
What do you mean taking hits?
Yeah, taking like frame hits.
Oh no, I don't have it on. So I don't know.
No, anybody? If you're on Twitch and you're watching, taking frame hits, buffering. It could just be my thing. But anyways, moving on. Yeah, some GameStop news there, Caesar. I wanted to save the best
Oh,
of the gaming news for you in GameStop.
I mean, I'm not gonna, spend too much time on this. I don't want to give them much promotion, but yeah, GameStop. They were in the news again last week for something very, very stupid and idiotic. And I gotta frankly say, I'm not surprised. But basically, what happened was, oh yeah, we are getting some major hits. I just saw the.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's really bad.
Hmm.
Blame Caesar's technology.
I warned you guys that there was something going on here. Oh yeah, man, that's pretty bad.
What's your CPU usage at?
Not high at all, 30%.
Oh, that's weird.
I'm wondering what my internet is at.
Oh. Well, thank you for continuing to watch us.
Yeah, if you guys seen some lag, well, yeah, we got confirmation. No Enigma gave us confirmation, so hang tight, everybody. I'm gonna go back to the starting screen. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna test out our internet real quick to see what the deal is. But
Yes, please hang tight.
all right, so hang tight. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, everyone. Sorry about that. So yeah, definitely having some internet issues over here on my end. But I think we could get through the show. I think we're going to be fine.
Yeah, hopefully it works out, and if it doesn't, then we apologize.
Why is Anthony laughing, man?
This has been a surprisingly angst-filled episode.
Yeah, seriously.
So far, and I don't know why.
Yeah, if anybody,
man.
if anyone sees any more issues, just let us know in the chat, please. But it seems like everything's running normal again. But yeah, let's go back to GameStop. So the situation with GameStop, last week they were in the news. Apparently, it turns out GameStop higher-ups decided to start a contest for other employees where store managers and employees below store managers, they're supposed to shoot a TikTok video where they're all supposed to be dancing or a choreographed dance, basically, and they would vote for the best dances, and they're basically making you do this. In short, they're making employees dance for store hours. Okay? You gain hours for dancing. It's basically what GameStop is making their employees do. And that is so fucking sickening to my stomach. But like I said, I am not surprised that this is a thing. But yeah, it blew up immediately to the point where GameStop completely canceled that contest. They are no longer doing it because obviously it makes them look like utter trash.
The idea that somebody thought that was a good idea is astounding to me. Like dance monkeys dance for your coins.
That's exactly what it is, and it's fucking sickening. And, you know, I should have clarified. It's not just for more hours. It's specifically for hours on Black Friday.
More Black Friday hours. I would feel like it would be the opposite, though. Like, if I was a GameStop employee, I'd be dancing to not work hours on Black Friday. Like, that would be my thing.
I could not believe it. Like, well, see, that just comes out of me naturally. I cannot believe it. But the problem is I can believe it. This is the type of shit GameStop would fucking do. And it's fucking sad. And, you know, I'm hoping... I was reading that supposedly Microsoft is reconsidering this whole partnership because of that. I fucking hope that's the case, man. Because, yeah, that's who you are in bed with now, Microsoft. That's who it is.
Well, actually, now that's curious, now I'm interested when they decided this TikTok thing. Because was it when Microsoft was bidding for TikTok? And so GameStop was like, oh, this would be a good way to use TikTok if Microsoft ends up winning that bid to buy TikTok?
No, they're not that smart. No, that's not it. No, not at all. This is literally just GameStop thinking we need to fucking promote Black Friday. How can we do this? You know, we're fucking strapped for cash right now. How can it be cheap and we can still promote Black Friday? I know. Let's get our employees to do it. What's the incentive? We'll give you more hours. That's fucking free marketing for GameStop. That's all that is. That's all they're looking for. Fucking imagine some of these videos go viral. That's free fucking marketing and you're promoting GameStop and Black Friday. That's all that is. And it's fucking sickening. Plain and simple. That's the way I see it. Fuck that. Fuck GameStop. Everyone at GameStop, store manager and below, honestly, they're all better than that. Put our
parental advisory warning on this episode.
I'm sorry, but yeah, that's it. Just
where are you buying your PlayStation from, Caesar?
GameStop, baby. Let's go.
And then, aren't you getting accessories from GameStop?
I'm actually going to be getting accessories elsewhere. I mean, I have friends that work at GameStop, and you know they help me out when it comes to reserving consoles specifically. Other than that, you know, I do feel very sick to my stomach that I'm picking up the PS5 over there, but you know,
you have to get a PS5. I mean, he got Caesar for everybody. Caesar helped get my PS5, so I'm picking up from a GameStop.
But I can guarantee
you got to do.
I can guarantee you, moving forward. I've never really liked GameStop. Like I said, it's definitely a good place. And I always recommended go to GameStop and reserve your consoles. But you don't need to go to GameStop for any other reason. You really don't. Unless you're looking to purchase used products. You know, if you're strapped for cash, then yeah, GameStop is the place you're going to want to go. But me personally, I don't support the sale of used games because I love the industry and the industry doesn't see a penny of that. So I've never appreciated what GameStop has done to the industry. So I take it very personal. But yeah, like I do feel really sick to my stomach that I'm getting the PS5 at GameStop. But the most I can do moving forward, I'm not going to be shopping at GameStop for any fucking reason after that. Once I pick up that PS5, like I said, I am no longer going to give them an accessory purchase. I'm picking up my PS5 because it's already paid in full, walking out of there, and I will never walk into a GameStop again. That is just ridiculous.
So you said something interesting. So you don't like the fact that GameStop sells used games. That's the reason, because the industry doesn't receive a penny for it. But isn't that just like used? I mean, isn't that like, I don't know, like thrift stores, like anything that sells, like resells items?
Yeah, but I mean, GameStop, they purposely, I mean, they're tied into the industry. Everything that I've seen from GameStop, the way they have the industry by the balls, and unfortunately they do, and they still continue to do what they're doing. I mean, it's kind of like a double-edged sword in that situation where, you know, the industry kind of needs them because they're the biggest retailer in games, but where they make most of their profit is on used products, where the industry sees none of that. And
are they still the largest retailer though for games?
I can't imagine.
I can't imagine right now. No, definitely not. But there was a point where they were, so the industry was pretty much just strapped. You know, GameStop had them by the balls. But yeah, it's the fact that, you know, a new game comes out, and when I was at GameStop, when a new game came out, you would sell this new game and you would let them know, you know, remember, if you get tired of that game or when you're done with it, you could bring it back and trade it in, and you get so much, and you're pushing people to bring that game back and trade it in as soon as possible because you want to get the more bang for your buck. You know, so I mean, right off the bat, you're already pushing this used game.
I mean, that was like with Blockbuster, that was the largest profit margins were in there when they sold previously viewed movies. And yeah, when people buy it, we'd always have to sit there and tell them like, hey, if you don't want it anymore, just bring it back and we can, like, you could do trade-in and stuff like that. And it's just resale. I feel like that's just what it is. So
yeah, it seems like GameStop does the most. It's like the most. Other resellers don't seem to be as gross in terms of how much they're reselling their used items for, though, right? To your original point, Mark. What's the difference? What's the difference between GameStop? Like, because I think the point you were making was like, is it because how is GameStop selling used games any different than any other like industry retailer that's reselling used items in their own industry?
I don't know what you're trying to get at. It probably went over my head.
His attention span went away.
Yeah, I moved on. I'm already
forget your original question.
No, I'm already thinking about Johnny Depp and Fantastic Beasts.
We could definitely move on. Like I said, I don't want to focus too much on this because it's just discussing what they're doing. Just wanted to put it out there. And
why are they still around then? Like, I just don't understand how they're still around and why companies are still giving them money.
They're still buying. Like, they're still buying large bulk of product. They're still going out and buying so many, like 20,000 PS5s. Like, they're retailers, so that's why they're giving them time of day, is because they're still buying large bulk.
Everything's online. You can buy everything online now.
Like, some people don't want to buy everything online, man.
Stressed. Look at them.
But
you go to a comic book shop, right? You go to a comic book shop, right?
Yes.
But hey, you can buy comic books online too.
Yeah, but I'm supporting a local business owner. I'm not
You're supporting a local GameStop owner.
No, is it? Are they franchised? No.
But you're supporting those employees that are working for that GameStop. You're supporting 15,000 retail jobs across the country. 15,000 middle wage retail jobs across the country. I don't actually even know if it's 15,000. I'm just making up a number. But anyways, moving on. Let's get out of gaming. Move on to television because we have more of a show to get to, and we're going pretty long on the news side. Johnny Depp left Fantastic Beasts finally. That was a real shocker. Didn't see that
one coming. What do you mean finally?
Yeah, were you waiting for him to leave?
Yeah, did you want him to get the boot?
I didn't think it. I thought it was weird that they brought him in at the end of the first one to begin with. I was like, what a weird person to bring in for Fantastic Beasts. Like for
the crazy thing. The crazy thing is, what a weird person to bring in and replace a guy like what's his face? Help me out here. What's his name?
Mads Mikkelsen.
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Colin Farrell's a big face, and you're replacing him with a bigger face. I mean,
Johnny. Yeah, that was like the weirdest thing to me. And so there's always issues with him being in the movies because he always had like during the entire filming of the second one, there was like that was when the whole court case and all that stuff came out that he's still battling in court with. Or actually, I think it just ended, right? Or part of it ended. So I just thought it was like only a matter of time before he was removed from it. So. It wasn't very surprising to me.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of backlash about it. Fans are in an uproar, at least from what I've seen. They, they feel that if he's got to go from this movie, they want to see Amber Heard get taken out of Justice League. I've been reading a lot about that. It's pretty much all over Twitter too.
No one cares about Justice League.
True.
Apparently, a lot of people do.
Yeah, true. Nobody cares about
like
that.
The whole Snyder cut is based on people caring about the Justice League.
Yeah, that's true. That is true, Jansen.
It's so stupid because they got a hashtag trending. Like anybody could get a hashtag trending. Like, just requires bots.
Yeah. So we should get a hashtag. Who cares about UI design?
Yeah, who cares about UI design? Look, never mind. I'm not. I want to dive back into the UI design.
Say it, man. Say
it.
I'm very interested about this.
No, I'm just saying. Obviously, you can't have a bad UI design, but there's not a fundamental like huge difference between Xbox and PS5 that I'm like, oh my god, I'm never gonna play an Xbox because the user interface is
I never
so
said
terrible.
I wasn't gonna play it.
I'm just saying. I just didn't even like the way Johnny Depp looked, really, either. He looked like a white, like haired Jack Sparrow that just cut his hair. Like it was literally his Jack Sparrow character that he just turned into. I don't know.
I thought Colin Farrell looked good in the role.
Yeah, Colin Farrell was cool.
I thought he was great in that role.
The rumor that Mads Mikkelsen is there in talks. I think that's cool. Know what they should do though? They should have Johnny Depp because I think they filmed like a scene with him. They should have him like remove the mask and it's Colin Farrell's face underneath it again, and just like shock everybody.
Psych.
And that's how he goes into hiding. He like hides back as Colin Farrell. So, anyways, okay, so that was news.
Well, how do you feel about Fantastic Beasts? With the whole
I like
J.K. Rowling thing happening right now, too.
I mean, they just need to remove. I think she just needs to be removed from the universe altogether.
It's her universe.
Yeah, well, it goes against what I was saying about you didn't create it.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, dude.
But when it gets to a point where you're no longer like you're destroying the universe every time you open your mouth, then you shouldn't open your mouth anymore.
It's her universe. She could do whatever she wants with it, okay?
Yeah, well.
This is what's interesting. This is like with everything we've talked about so far, this is that line. That's weird line where it's like, where do you draw the line for principle versus support versus being kind of detached from whatever is actually going on beyond just the content that we're consuming?
I don't know.
Because obviously it's all entertainment, but
that's what I'm saying. It's just
the things outside of it that it's very interesting, like at what point do I say, no, the way this company treats its employees, I can't support them anymore. Even though if that means not supporting like a local employee who's just doing it for a paycheck, is just trying to get by, or like, I'm not going to support this movie because the person who's associated with the movie said something that's not really appropriate. It's so crazy.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I think it's hard. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. You know what? I'll tell you what. I won't go see this movie in the movie theater.
I don't think many of us are going to be doing
I'll
that.
wait for it to come out on a streaming service or something. I'll wait for it to come out on HBO Max. There you go. That's my support.
Oh man, that was rough.
Anyway, speaking of coming out on streaming service, we've all been waiting. Tenet's going to be released in December on digital.
Do you think we were just so hyped for something, like you were saying, the FOMO, like that it wasn't released or that we couldn't see it, and now that it's finally showed up, we're just kind of like, just with everything, with PlayStation, with Tenet, we're like,
yeah.
I'm over it. It was hyped up for so long, and
yeah, I feel like that's the problem.
Are we jaded?
Movies, right?
How did we become so jaded?
I don't know.
COVID, man.
COVID, yeah. It's just made everything like. Well, I think it has to do with I think it's just the frustration. Like I was saying, like the longer you keep these movies, you keep pushing these release dates back, and you're like, no, we want to open it up in the movie theater. It just I lost all interest in the movie. So now that it's finally coming out on digital, I'm like, oh, okay, it's coming out in December. Like, I just really want to watch Soul when it releases on Christmas Day on Disney Plus. That's the one that I'm looking forward to. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Fascinating.
So I'm curious to see what it makes, though. How many people rent it or buy it. The other news, guys.
Interesting.
I'm gonna move on because.
Well, no, it's just because it seems like every topic was tied into that kind of feeling, that kind of. The thing with Destiny. So Destiny dropped new content.
Oh, right.
And it's the same thing where you've got so many people upset about the main campaign of the DLC, when it's almost like we spoil it for ourselves with this high expectation, and then we consume things so quickly and so voracious. What's the right word? Yeah, we're sort of voracious for consuming the content, that we burn through it. And then it's like, oh, okay, you went through something that took people 2-3 years to build in a day and a half, and then you're all pissed off because it was short. It's like, well, yeah, because you consumed it in 24 hours. Or you binged to watch the season in a half a day. It's like, what is happening to us? What's going on, man? What are we doing to ourselves?
Times are changing, man.
There you go. But you know what? Now we have episodes like Mandalorian where they're releasing every week, so we can't consume them and we can talk about them every week. So maybe the Mandalorian will be the thing that gets us out of the funk.
Do you think it's working for you? Because for you, I feel like you mentioned that you really like to have at least, not even if you binge it.
Oh no, it's not working. I want more than one episode. It would be cool because we could talk, we're gonna talk. Let's transition into the Mandalorian episode 2 that we released on Friday. I would have liked to talk about episode 2 and 3 or 3 and 4. I don't know. I still want to consume stuff in large chunks.
Mister, I don't got time to play video games.
Yeah. It's true. I don't have time to play video games. I have to consume things in large chunks.
Well, if we're transitioning to Mandalorian, we gotta warn our viewers that once again we're getting into spoiler territory. We are going to be talking chapter 11, episode 2 from season 2. So if you haven't seen it, you may want to just walk away.
Mute.
Yeah, just walk away from the screen. Don't tune away. Walk away. Put it on mute, and then come back in about 10 minutes? I don't know, but yeah, we're about to get into this, so you've been warned.
All right. So what were you guys' initial thoughts?
I enjoyed it. I very, very much enjoyed it. I thought it was a good episode. Didn't really progress on the story from episode 1, but it was its own standalone episode, and I really enjoyed that we got to engage more with I'm gonna say this on purpose just to piss him off. We got to engage more with Baby Yoda.
I think my brother put it best. He's like, he's a monster, and he was talking about it before, like I even watched it, and I was like, how is he a monster? And then when I'm watching, I'm like, oh, he is a monster. Like,
see, but that's I kind of
eating babies.
I kind of
baby eater.
I kind of like when I first saw the character, I was like, well, this will be interesting, and then I saw the eggs, and I thought to myself, I was like, but he likes to eat frogs. How is this going to work out? And I was not surprised when he went for those eggs. I was not surprised whatsoever.
It's like popped. And I'm just curious does she not like counter eggs? Does she not?
Yeah,
know
exactly.
If they're like the last generation of.
Do you know exactly how much?
Yeah,
is in
she's
there?
like, wait, I had 32 here.
There's a
now
few missing.
29.
Yeah,
like,
I felt the exact same way about that.
That was so
well, what's
weird.
funny too is like she doesn't keep the eggs with her in the cockpit.
That's
Like,
another
she puts
thing.
it in the cargo bay, just like rolling around, not strapped down. Really?
These are really important eggs.
And Mando knows, like, he gets into stuff. It's like you don't think he's gonna like, oh, I'm gonna think it's food.
And then and his just like reaction, like, don't eat the eggs. Like, you were literally killing babies.
Exactly.
And it's just like, stop, don't do that. Hey, stop, don't do that.
Oh my gosh. What was interesting with this episode, it was the first episode, I think, in the series that felt like a filler episode, to Caesar's point, where there wasn't really too much tied into the main narrative. It just seemed like it was kind of a side quest.
Well, yeah, it was. It definitely felt like a filler. And I feel like it's now like back-to-back episodes where creatures were like the main.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
And it's interesting because there's not a lot of episodes, so you would think, why the need for filler? Because it's not like a 22 series season.
Well,
I think they just want to try to find ways to they have a bigger budget and they want to put creatures in it.
I'm sure it felt like a filler episode, but I'm sure there's going to be bigger story around these eggs. You know, we have yet to meet her husband.
Dude. Like, what are you talking about?
Dude, I'm actually watching.
Your UI feature was already crazy enough, but your egg theory, no.
There's going to be more story involving these eggs. I guarantee it.
My brother, who's watching too, he sent me a tweet because he's talking about the whole thing, and essentially says Yoda wasn't on Dagobah for mystical force reasons. He was there because it was literally a smorgasbord for him. He was the apex predator in that bog. Everything for miles around him was probably terrified of him. Every food chain ended in Yoda, and his death came as a huge relief to the entire ecosystem.
That's brilliant.
It's true.
It's brilliant. He was only there for the food.
I did like, actually, because we could mention Dagobah, I did like the creatures were literally like Ralph McQuarrie's like artwork from, I think, like Empire Strikes Back. So in like some of the original concept art, those creatures were actually on Dagobah, which is kind of interesting that they moved them over to the snow and they put like the creepy spider things. I thought that was cool. I also thought like it seemed like yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. It did seem like kind of like filler episode. It was cool with special effects and all.
Yeah.
But you got to see like a little bit more of the child and his like. But
His butt.
Yeah, I know I was saying, but it seemed like a filler episode. And I just feel like the ship. How did the ship even fly? Like a giant gaping hole in
Yeah,
it.
it was.
Like
How
they
could it
had like
not
the
really damaged falling that far?
yeah, and then like the thing like stuck his the big one stuck his thing through, but yeah, he's flying in space, like in the cockpit. Didn't it go through the
Well,
cockpit?
he
Didn't
patched
it?
that up. They showed where he patched that up.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, he said that
I just
he said that the only thing he's going to be able to pressurize is the cockpit. So everyone's going to have to go in there, put that big hole in the cargo bay. It's not going to be able to get fixed until he finds a place.
oh, I thought they cracked the window in the cockpit, but maybe I was wrong.
No, they did. No, you're right. Big old fucking claw went through it, but yeah, that's what he patched up. He actually fixed it. Yeah, because like I said, he mentions that. He says the only thing I'm going to be able to pressurize is the cockpit.
Yeah, I
Well,
remember that.
I love it too. They save him, and then they're like, "All right, peace. Good luck with repairing your ship." Like,
We're gonna leave you on this frozen ice planet.
Yeah,
that
are you
was
cool?
weird.
Like, are you gonna be able to fly out all right? No, all right.
That was weird. What was the point of coming back if you weren't gonna arrest him to begin with?
Yeah.
And
like,
you
okay.
come back to sit there and let him know that you're not going to arrest you, and hey, you're this person. We commend you. We're not going to arrest you, but you know what? I'm going to leave you here.
Yeah, but go ahead and rot
with a little baby, and with a woman that has her babies with her.
Yeah.
The rebels, man, they're evil. Like maybe they were maybe the Empire did have its, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I gotta say for Jon Favreau, I love the guy. I absolutely love the guy. More power to him. He's where he's gotten to. He's like all the props. I gotta feel like some of the writing, man, is becoming like a little bit suspect.
Oh, I like how he made himself with the dogs. Yeah, I don't know. Did he direct this and write this one?
No, he didn't direct it, but he's written pretty much every episode.
Yeah, he definitely wrote this one.
I hear Carl Weathers is directing the next one.
Oh, that should be cool.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see how the next one is. Yeah, so that should be cool. But overall, yeah, like I said, it's a filler episode.
Favorite
Eventually
parts?
they'll get to.
Favorite parts of the episode?
I mean, I guess it's probably just the creatures. I thought they were cool looking.
They fucking freaked me out.
Yeah, they're creepy, man.
I actually enjoyed the
You're
beginning
muted,
of the episode.
by the way.
Who, me?
No, Anthony. You were talking.
I enjoyed the beginning of the episode where he actually where they got ambushed, and then that little bastard takes his jetpack, and then he just kind of fucks with them.
Oh, yeah,
I thought that was really cool. But yeah, after that, yeah, it kind of just dragged, and yeah, it definitely went in a direction I wasn't expecting, and yeah, like we said from the very beginning, filler episode.
I'm actually curious. Oh, go ahead.
No, I don't know how he travels in the desert with that suit, and is just strolls up into the cantina. It's just like sitting there. Hey, what's going on? Doesn't need to drop it or anything.
Yeah, like it's warm enough to survive the cold.
Yeah,
He's in the middle of the desert.
This is the way, man.
I'm actually curious how the creatures survive in this frozen tundra without any. Like, there's so many of those spiders. Like, what are they eating out there in the middle of nowhere?
Each other, maybe?
Oh. Yeah.
Cannibals?
I don't know. But yeah, I'll be curious to see what the next episode is.
Yeah, slow week for Mandalorian. So looking forward to this Friday. Hopefully they pick it up again.
Cool. All right, that was our Mando rundown. You can come back now. We're no longer talking Mandalorian. No longer spoilers.
Yeah. Man, that was about 10 minutes. Not too bad.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we're going to get into our rediscovery portion for this week. This is Rediscover Television. Last week, we had a nice conversation about Dick Tracy. This week, we all decided to watch and rediscover Doogie Howser, MD. It was the 1989 classic. I wouldn't say classic, but it wasn't really a classic. It was a subpar, like mid-range, like television show. that Neil Patrick Harris starred in. Yeah, kind of got his career from Doogie Howser, MD.
Yep.
I know we've talked about this briefly earlier in a episode like a couple months back. But it was cool to go back because at that point I only had watched like 2 episodes of it. So it's cool to go back and watch. I think I want to say I got to episode 9 or 10. I can't remember. But what did you guys think? What were general thoughts about it?
I'll let Anthony go first. You guys, I already pretty much spoke on this those episodes ago. I enjoyed it, but Anthony, thoughts?
Well, I remember watching it a lot as a kid, so it was kind of nice to revisit because it's been obviously years and years, and I never really rewatched it recently. But when did all these shows were like hardcore adult shows? Like,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
this was like 89 and the stuff they just like those first few episodes, it's just like all out. Okay, we're going to touch on every serious adult topic with this kid. And it's just like, what?
See, that I think that's what's making it stand out more now, because I think we watched this as kids and it really didn't appeal to us. We just watched it because we saw a kid who was a doctor, and that's probably why we related, because we saw a kid. But I remember watching this as a kid as well, and I watched it, but I can't tell you what I enjoyed about the show or if I did enjoy the show. But watching it now, you realize it's because it's definitely adult. It's adult, and I'm enjoying it more now because of that. So I think that's what it is. It's just really that. But I agree. It's like, man, for this type of show, man, like, it's, to Jensen's point, they touch on a lot of stuff that I'm surprised they touch on.
Well, it kind of goes with like when we were talking to Dick Tracy and we're like, oh, Dick Tracy was rated PG, and that was 1990. So this was on primetime TV on ABC or NBC. I can't remember. I think it was ABC.
ABC.
But yeah, it literally touches sex, alcohol, and just like creepy stuff. It's not even like it's sex with an underage minor.
Yeah.
That was the thing. There's some things that like that was one of my main things I want to talk about, was just the fact of how adult it was. And the more you get into it, you have more of these scenarios, like the alcohol one where he has a beer and he gets pulled over and the cop doesn't take him serious, and then he's like, oh, I just had one beer, and like he says it like he's like, I just love it, like the way he like treats, because he's trying to be like, his character is like trying to be an adult, so he's trying to say it like he was more of an adult, but then like you're a 16-year-old. But then when he's like talking to the resident or nurse or whatever at the hospital, when he's in the prison cell or in the jail waiting for his parents to pick him up, he's like nonchalantly, oh yeah, they're not going to get me for the DUI because I only blew a .03. And I'm like,
like, what?
But you're a under 6, you're a 16-year-old kid.
Yeah, you're drinking underage. See, but that's the thing about the show that I actually enjoy, because right off the bat, the very first episode, they mentioned that they you get that eerie scene where his coworker's coming on to him, she makes him drop his pants because she says that she's been attracted to him. But it's a joke that they play on him, and now they got him with his pants down, and everyone says happy birthday. It's a surprise, and then he rushes out of there because you forget, and they even mentioned that they forget that you come off so grown up that we forget that you're 16 years old. So that's the interesting part, and they treat him like that. And yeah, he comes off very adult-like, but then he has his friend, Vinny, who right off the bat, he comes off exactly like that. Yes.
Right off the bat, all he talks about, like through every episode, it's literally sex. Yes. The only thing he talks about. It's funny. I read this that so Doogie Howser was 16, or Neil Patrick Harris was 16 when he was filming this. So Vinny is 22 in this first season.
What?
Yeah. Well, he was 21, and then he turned 22 by the end of the first season. Holy. That is a 21-year-old kid.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's insane.
He looks so young. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it blew my mind too when I was reading it. Like, holy crap, that kid. Some other thing that I thought was funny, is that it like kind of supports like child work, like they break like child labor laws. Like when he's like in like, oh, I've been here for 40 out of the last 48 hours. And I'm like, he's a 16-year-old kid. He can't work that long. And then they're talking like, did you guys get the, I can't remember what episode it was when he's wants to buy a car.
Yeah. He
And
wants to buy
they're like,
yeah.
I make $28,000 a year. So I looked this up. The median average like doctor's wage back in 1990 was $150,000 a year. Like, are they just underpaying him because he's a child?
They are taking advantage of him. They're having him work ridiculous hours and just underpaying this kid, who's a prodigy.
Like maybe that's like a private practice. Like it didn't break down like if it was private practice or if it was like resident like in a hospital.
Well, it's weird because I think the synopsis is he's a licensed physician in a residency program.
Yeah, so maybe they pay less. Maybe that's
how they get around it.
Well, no, that's what I was just thinking though. I was like, only 28,000. That
seems
I was like, that
little.
seems really low. And I was like, oh, you know what? Even like maybe it's because it's back in the early, like in the 80s. Like maybe the wages back then. I didn't know a doctor, so I looked it up. And no, doctors make a hell of a lot more than that back then. And then he would have made $100,000 if he took that other job, right? When he was
yes.
Yeah, like if he wanted to be a pediatric thing, they offered him $100,000. So that's like kind of more in line, but $28,000, like, granted, I wasn't making $28,000 when I was 16.
No, it still seems like a lot of money for you. Like at 16, yeah. Obviously, it sounds nice, but yeah, they're definitely, they lowballed them for sure. But dude, can we talk about that episode? That awkward, you know what episode I'm talking about? That awkward episode
when she wants his
yeah. Oh, she wants his baby?
Man. See that's what I'm talking about is that type of stuff.
That was like episode 3, right? That was like early on.
3 or 4, yeah. And it's like,
but
man,
that was like that's a creepy thing. Like they like borderline creepy in every episode. Not even borderline, they were creepy in every episode. Because they were treating this kid like an adult, but they're kept on like, oh, he's a kid, but we're going to still have all these adult conversations. Like an adult woman wanted to have his sperm.
Yeah. I mean, at first, he's led to believe that she actually wants to sleep with him and have his baby.
Then he's like...
Yeah, and he's excited too, like, but then it turns out that, oh, no, she just wants his sperm. Oh, okay, that's better. Oh, so you're asking for a 16-year-old sperm.
That's so creepy.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh,
and don't get me wrong, I know it sounds like we're probably bashing this show, and we're not. That's the humor of it.
Thoroughly I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to go back. Like I think I got like 9 or 10. I can't remember what I'm on. But I want to finish season 1.
Yeah.
Now I kind of want to see, like, I want to see how it progresses. And I also want to see, like, what topics... Yeah, as he gets older, like what topics they cover. So.
Well, it's a bummer too because it seemed like the show was canceled earlier than originally.
I think season 4. It was canceled in season 4.
Yeah, I think they wanted to do 2 more seasons after that to kind of wrap it up, but they weren't able to because it was abruptly canceled. Which, sucks. It would have been nice to see where they wanted to take it.
Well, I was reading that the creator wanted him to transition out of being a doctor to being a writer. That was kind of like where they wanted to move it, but then it was canceled. I was also reading like the network hated it. They didn't want to make it. They did not like Neil Patrick Harris. They didn't like him. They never liked him for it. I was reading like but the only reason they had to do it was because they technically were under contract with the creator of it. And so they literally had to put whatever he wanted to make on air. So that was weird because, I don't understand.
That's why these people, they don't fucking know anything, man. Everybody thinks that these executives know shit. They don't know nothing. Like, they just make these guesses, essentially, that they think like they don't know what audiences are actually going to react to. Nobody has the secret formula. The secret formula is fucking good work. Just do good fucking work.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, I feel like they spend a lot of money to know what the audience is.
But they don't. They still don't. Because you could take all the test audience data and say, oh, we think this is projected to be great. Comes out, lays a fucking egg. And
I mean, but there's outliers, obviously, but they do in a sense know what audiences want. Like certain channels, like Disney Channel, knew exactly what their audience wanted when they started doing like High School Musical and stuff like that.
Yeah, but would you rate High School Musical? Would you rate that as very good work? Like, would you watch that and be like, oh, this is some seminal shit. This is some stuff that's going to be like turned into a classic.
No,
exactly.
but it's not my type of thing. It's not my show, but clearly people enjoyed High School Musical. And clearly there were people that thought this was my jam and I'm going to do that I'm going to make 3 of them. And one of the guys is going to become like Zac Efron and be Zac Efron. Like, I feel like they do know, but they just don't get it all thing. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people that don't know it, but I feel like there are smart people that are doing this. But yeah, it could be maybe because I've seen like that side of it, that that there's a lot of effort that goes into things that people don't realize. There's a lot of effort that goes into like market research and understanding your audience. So it's, yeah.
Were those people on Sony? Did they clearly get the UI thing?
Yeah, they clearly did so much market research with the UI.
They missed it.
And Xbox was like, no one cares about UI, so we're not even going to do it. And then bam, it comes out, everybody trashes it because the UI is so terrible. That's how it works. No, yeah. Overall, though, it's actually Doogie Howser is one of those shows. Going back to Doogie Howser, that it holds up in the sense that like if I watch Saved by the Bell, and I go back and rewatch Saved by the Bell, it's just like, oh my god, like what?
Cringe.
Yeah, like really cringe. Like this, there's parts that are cringe, but it's more of like, oh my gosh, no, like cringe moments.
You can't believe they did that.
Yeah, I think it's I think it holds up really well. Obviously, it's dated, like, but it's really hard to see him typing on that word processor. Like, and then he's like a really slow typer too, and that kind of drives me nuts. Like, it's just like doot. Like it, and then I look at his journal entries, and like they're only like 2 sentences.
Yeah, it's literally he's just starting it. That's all he's doing. It's just, and then he's done.
Yeah, it's like really quick. Oh, friendship is hard. Like, no one has to be a genius, or no, Vinny is a genius of friendship.
Yes.
Did you guys get to the episode where he does the documentary?
Yeah, the documentary in the hospital.
Yeah.
That's actually a good episode. Actually, I really liked that episode, and the other episode I really enjoyed was the one where he goes inside his girlfriend.
Oh, where he does the operation on her?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then she gets all weirded about it. She doesn't want to see him anymore. That's such a weird episode, but I actually enjoyed that one.
The one, Vinny, when he steals his doctor's badge to meet that pop star.
Oh my god, dude!
I'm like, the balls on that kid.
See, but that's another thing I appreciate about this show is that any other show, say by the Bell, for example, it would just kind of be a slap on the wrist. Oh, I can't believe he did that. No, right here they actually treated it like a serious thing. Like, I can't believe you fucking went and did that shit. Yeah. He took the blame for it and everything.
But then he did. He says like I could have lost my job. I could have lost the career. And then he's like, I'm really sorry, man. It's okay.
Yeah, exactly. There's a limit. Man. There's a limit.
That's friendship.
But yeah,
like he lets so much stuff go. Like, we weren't supposed to have this party. I got drunk. Like, I got this stuff. Like, Are we still cool? Yeah, we're cool. It's like, what? He gets him in so much trouble.
Yeah, it's friendship, man.
Vinny is fucking Zach Morris, man. That's who he is. But
I like him though. That last episode with the documentary, you kind of feel like, okay, it's just like he's a good friend. He's a good friend for Doogie.
But
he's the opposite. I think they
complete
balance.
opposite.
Yeah.
And what's funny is pretty much who Vinny plays in this show. That's exactly who Neil Patrick Harris plays in How I Met Your Mother.
True.
Very, very similar to that
character.
Actually,
yeah, very similar. Yeah, ladies' man, always.
So I thought it was funny. And speaking about How I Met Your Mother, did you guys see that episode where he actually does the callback to Doogie Houser and he's actually typing on his computer?
I feel like I have seen it. I've watched every episode of How I Met Your Mother. I just haven't seen it in so long, and there's so many that I just don't remember it.
Yeah, that's such a really, really cool callback where he does that. He literally just sitting in front of his laptop and he's typing away. And then you start to hear the little music, and for anyone that's ever watched the show, instantly clicks. And he actually does the part where he stops, he looks up, and then he gets back to typing.
Then he goes. You also notice, like, I also just finally started seeing the episodes where Doogie Howser does a lot of magic.
Yes.
Which ties into Neil Patrick Harris's, like, magic. Like he's huge lover of magic. He essentially saved the Magic Castle.
Yeah.
And was the president of Magic Castle for years, right? Wasn't he the head of the board for, like, years when he put money? Yeah. But yeah, the Magic Castle in LA. I don't know if anybody's watching, if you guys have been to the Magic Castle. It is awesome, and you need to go to it. You have to have someone special to invite you, and you have to wear a tie and a suit.
God, it was the most incredible experience. Yeah.
It is such a cool space. And it's just like, yeah, it's so cool.
Did I ever tell you a story about what happened to us in the Magic Castle?
No.
Ooh, story time.
But share, please.
So we were getting our the silhouette guy, the person who does like your the profile and do the silhouette. So Samantha and I got that from that guy, and it was really cool because the guy afterwards, he said, we just started talking, and I guess he really liked us or something, or we were just like the mark, we were the pick, and he told us, hey, you know what? If you really want to see something really cool, go downstairs to this, like, there's a bar like down a stairwell. Go down there and ask this person there if you want to tell him you want to see time travel. And we're like, what? So we go down, we try to find, because it's kind of like a maze in that whole thing.
Yeah.
So we're I
was gonna say, it's like a maze. You wander, and then all of a sudden there's this bar with a ton of people, and you're like,
yeah.
Where the yeah.
So essentially it was so we go up to the bar. There's only like a few people at the bar, and there's some tables on the outside, and we're like sitting there, and I'm like kind of timid because I don't know if like I'm being pranked or if this is for real. But then I go up to the bartender, order some drinks, and then he says, yeah, is there anything else, like this, order the drinks, he brings them out, is there anything else? And I said, yeah, we wanted to see some time travel. And he kind of gives me a look and he says, okay, give me a second. And then I take the drinks back, and then all of a sudden I see him signal. He's like, oh, come up here to the bar. And we're like, okay. So we bring our drinks to the bar. Like, everybody else kind of just parts. They move away from us. We sit down, and for the next 45 minutes, he shows us the most amazing sleight of hand magic I've ever seen. And essentially he ends it with, we get to see time travel. Like, he does this amazing sleight of hand trick. And we were sitting there because obviously the people at the bar had no clue. So all of a sudden they just start doing magic, and they're freaking out. And it's all of a sudden like this small collective is having like this really cool experience in this huge mansion. And it was like just super, super incredible because I'm literally right here. He's like less than a foot away from me doing this magic that I don't know how he's doing it. He's making stuff disappear out of his hands. And it was the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
Either you went with us, right? Were you?
I did not. No, I've been to the Magic Castle before with Tommy, but I did not go when you guys went. I wasn't working at Wizard World at the time yet.
Yeah, it's kind of. I couldn't remember if you were there when we went.
No, that was
But we went through Brittany.
yes.
Brittany got us in, and because one of her friends is one of the resident magicians there, so we had one of the magicians that performs there giving us a tour, and it was like the coolest thing. Like you just walk somewhere, and then someone just breaks into doing magic,
Yeah.
and like so he was like giving us a tour, and then all of a sudden he'd do a show for like
Yeah.
us, and then everybody in that area would like gather around, and then he'd do a show there, and then he would go up, and then we'd like, oh, we're getting food, and then he's like, hey, you want to see another trick? And then he just breaks into a show. It was it was the coolest thing ever. I've only been there once. I want to go back.
Same
again.
here. I've been wanting to go back too.
Yeah. Obviously with COVID, who knows when that's ever going to happen. But
Well, I know they're using the place because it was actually that's what they used as the church for what was it, the Church of the Collective and the boys.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
did
it
they
was
really?
it was the Magic Castle.
I didn't know that.
I realized that like halfway through the season, but yeah, they used the Magic Castle as a church.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's good because they probably have to make money somewhere because they can't because they're not. I don't think they're open. Well, anyways, so Neil Patrick Harris, yeah, he done a bunch of money to save the Magic Castle and became their like board president or something. So that's why you see like you start noticing you see a lot of magic that as a kid clearly he was into magic because
Absolutely.
he's doing all this magic on the show.
Yeah, so everything. If you didn't see Doogie Howser and you did see How I Met Your Mother, you saw those magic tricks he was doing on How I Met Your Mother. Yeah, that wasn't camera magic. That was actually him doing magic
Yeah,
tricks.
that was him doing magic tricks. But yeah, overall, it was good. We need to come up with like a grading, like a rediscovery grading system for this stuff.
Mm.
Like a 1 through 5 star, or
No, I don't know, like something that like when we sit there and say like, oh, rediscover, because obviously we've been really lucky. We've hit like a lot of positive things. We've done Killing Joke, which we all had a positive experience with. We did Dick Tracy that we all just loved. We did Doogie Howser that we loved. So we need like a grading system because I'm really looking forward to the one where we go back and we're like, holy crap, this was terrible. Like,
well, then that's what it is. Our grading system is, does it hold up or not? Because that's ultimately what it is, right?
well, yeah, but some of the stuff isn't like our next TV series is going to be Attack on Titan. Aha, I didn't put the S on it.
Hey, you didn't
So the
dat
next
it
one,
up.
so everybody watching, the next one's going to be Attack on Titan or listening. It's going to be Attack on Titan, so that's going to be our next television. So we'll do that in 4 weeks from now, right? Yeah, 4 weeks from now. But that I don't necessarily know if that's rediscovery because can you
It's not
rediscover
that
like
old.
yeah, because it doesn't seem it's not that old, so it's not like, but it is something that we want to go back and rewatch. And I haven't watched it until it's like full complete, so it's I want to go back and rewatch it completely. So
Well, I think it's been a while though too, right? Like when didn't it come out like what was it, 5 years ago now or something?
I feel like
been-
it's old enough.
yeah, but it's not like 89 old.
No,
Or 90
definitely.
old,
It's not
yeah.
Doogie Howser old. Definitely not.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I mean, me personally, Doogie Howser, I definitely recommend it. Whether
it's on Hulu.
whether you grew up with it or not, yeah, it's on Hulu, so check it out. Yeah, Neil Patrick Harris, as you know, he's just damn good and damn charming in this show. So definitely give it a shot, and would love to hear everyone's thoughts afterwards. But yeah, that's one thing we actually want to do with this segment is, for anyone watching, we'll let you know ahead of time what we're gonna watch in case you guys want to join in and watch that, and then actually chime in and give us your thoughts on it because definitely want to engage with the chat as much as we can.
Yes.
It's been kind of dry lately.
It has. But we haven't really been very engaging with the chat either. So
Because there's nothing to engage with.
that's true. We're hitting a
I'm telling you, man, your brother needs to stop tweeting you or texting you. He needs to get
well,
on the
no,
chat.
he did. He said yes. He was no enigma up there. My sister was in the chat last week.
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool, man. We really got into it. So yeah, anyone that's still watching, again, spread the word. Spread the word.
Yeah. But yeah, Doogie Howser. I give it. It holds up. I enjoy it. I'm actually gonna probably finish season 1. Because I want to see because I want to go and see how the cliffhangers. Like I remember how cliffhangers happened in TV series back in the day. It's clearly changed just because just the way that like TV's made and Netflix and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to see like what the cliffhangers are for like a Doogie Howser episode. Like I want to see what the cliffhanger for Doogie Howser is for season 1. That's gonna be exciting. So yeah, as mentioned, next TV is Attack on Titan. So our next rediscovery segment next week is gonna be, hey, look, someone check. Maybe it's whether you're still a geek or not. Okay, hold on. So this is in regards to how do we grade this. Maybe it's whether you're still a geek or not, seeing as you haven't seen some of the newer. That makes people geek.
Oh, there's a whole lot of geek in that sentence.
Yeah, I guess that could be,
Okay, maybe it's whether you're still a geek or not. Seeing as you haven't seen some of the newer geeks shit that makes people geeks nowadays. That one's a little tough. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll talk amongst each other and we'll figure out a good rating system.
Just my brother right now.
No,
you've been telling them, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat.
I apologize.
Through that.
But, put in the chat. Yeah, you know what? You, maybe not so much. I get what you're saying, Wes. Don't worry, man.
That's what I need. I need clarification on this. But yeah, we definitely need a rating system.
So next week we're gonna be playing Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, which my brother is obsessed with. Like he's played the Batman Arkham Asylum and Arkham Knight games, Arkham series multiple times. So he'll probably have a lot to chime in on if he watches next week. But next week, yeah, we're gonna revisit Arkham Asylum gaming, and then our first book the following week. We've kind of talked about what we're going to be doing in the future. So, and next week's taken care of. Our Rediscover comic is going to be Wolverine Old Man Logan. Just the initial trilogy, the initial series. So it's 8-issue arc that was covered in Wolverine. I think it starts with 66 and goes on. So it's the original arc for Wolverine Old Man Logan. Then we're going to do for TV or movie was going to be Grandma's Boy, which I haven't seen, which I'm super excited about. So that will be a Rediscover movie in 3 weeks. And then we're going to do Attack on Titan. And then we'll come up with a new game. Oh, and then our new game. Well, we'll talk about our new game afterwards. Yeah, we're too early in the new game. I made a point to say geeks that much, and then I misspelled geeks.
I've been there.
So that's it. That's our show, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back next week, 7 p.m. This is going to go up on. I'm going to try to get better and upload these onto podcast and video form in the next day or two. So check out our YouTube. If you missed any part of this, it'll be going up on YouTube. And if YouTube doesn't get us for copyright, which we've been good for the last couple, I think it was just the clip from Animaniacs that did it for us.
So weird.
I think that's the reason why we couldn't do it. Good night. Talk to you later, Wes.
Good night. Good night, Wes.
And then, yeah, so we'll be back next Tuesday, 7 p.m. PT. Talking Arkham Asylum, and we'll all be going over our PS5 reviews.
Yes.
Because we'll all have a PS5 in hand by that point.
And we'll see
we'll all go.
Maybe we'll be more excited about it this time.
Maybe we'll be more excited about it.
We'll talk
I'm
all
excited
about
it. You guys brought me down. Like, I was excited, and then you guys brought me down. So it's your fault.
I couldn't tell that you were brought down.
Yeah, it's just
I don't know how we brought you down, man.
You guys are just not excited about it.
You know what? This is appropriate because we've been watching. Samantha and I have been watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. You are the police chief, where they can't get a read on him. It's like, is he happy? Is he mad? I don't know. I can't get a read on him.
I don't know. I feel like I smile a lot. I actually over smile probably because I make up for the fact that I know that when my face goes, it's like resting bitch face. So there's a good story about Jason David Frank was teaching a karate class at one of Wizard World, and I came in and I walked into it, and he stopped his class and he looks at me. He's like, "Hey man, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yes, it's just my face." And then I walked out.
Well, you busted a Napoleon Dynamite.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh,
Sorry for bringing you down, man. We'll do better next week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
do better,
apologize.
guys. Be best. What was it? Melania Trump's "Be Best." What was that? Her thing.
Now
It's
who's
in the
bringing you
jeans.
down?
It's in the jeans. Oh man.
So, all right, guys, that's our episode. See you next week. Thank you. Be sure to follow us. Be sure to click like if you're new, or if you're not new, just tell your friends to click like. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page.
Tell your friends
All
all
that
about
stuff.
us. Tell your friends all about
Tell your
us.
friends about us. It's like I'm begging right now.
Please.
Please, guys, support us. Never mind. I was gonna get into politics, but I'm not.
Nope.
I'm not gonna go down
Nope.
that road. Not gonna go down that road.
Man, if UI pissed you off.
Yeah, if UI.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
All right.
Anyway,
Thanks,
see you guys
everybody.
next week.
From now on,
Peace out.
no more politics, no more UI, no more GameStop.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, and don't forget next time to rediscover your
Your
geek.
geek.
Good night, guys. Bye.
Bye.